All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check 52. Rush in.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. 5 yards on the game's first play. 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Haywood.
Now Jones. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Trickstone, travel. Bravo. Let's get up.
Jones on 1st and 10. That is incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Jones now to throw again. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Jones. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. A first down carry for Barkley won't lead to much as he'll take this forward for maybe a yard. It's 2nd down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 34-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing Jones. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Open man is Anderson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 15-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first down carry for Barkley. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 16-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
No gain in the play. It's 4th down.
Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. The kick by Pinheiro is good. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Ready? 15, Ronnie. 15 line.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Weaver looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter, Will Fuller, back deep to return. Get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Here we go. 70, Indy. 60, Mike, 60, Mike. Be careful.
On 1st and 10, Jones. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
55, Mike, 55. Let's go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Weaver, complete. Smith has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 1st down, Weaver. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter #1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Rock it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Let's go. 10 Lobo. Check 55, Mike. Hey, I-7. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Let's go, Abby.
To throw on 3rd down. Weaver. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready?
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Jones throwing again. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
Brings up second and 10.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on second and 10.
Hey, team 6.
Now Saquon Barkley. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Jones on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Let's go, baby. At their own 13-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Come on, set. 70, Indy.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Second and 6. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And it's taken in at the 9. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Giant football, first and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. Jones. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Set. 60-yard. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Jones on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Shift. 22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Alluding to pressure right. He may try and run for this. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a fourth down situation.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. So they get the first down. Maybe not a huge play in terms of yardage, but the fake punt does the job. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jones now operating from the gun. And now look at him go. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
The point after is good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Now a man open down the middle of the field. That catch good for 5. It's third down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
57's the mic. Five.
Now Jones from the gun, he'll throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play. On the football, but in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, hey, Zoo. 57 to Mike. Hey, now.
Throwing again, Jones. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two? Get it into the locker room.
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Ready. 55, Mike 55. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Throwing on 1st down, Weaver. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Weaver under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Lorenzo Carter able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Vikings going to sing. For the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Check. Fresno. Tighten up. Hey, check 24. Let's go.
Back to throw. Weaver. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's a high kick and hit pretty well. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go!
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 46. Looking to throw. Weaver. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Go!
On 1st and 10, Weaver. This is caught, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Hey, orbit. 57. Mike, 57. All day, baby. All day. 57's Mike. Mike, 57. Yo. Get it.
Here's Jones throwing on first down, escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play. Keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here we go. Hey, exit. 60 mark.
On 4th down, Jones. Looking left side, and it's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16. Jones now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
60 mark. I'm coming from 9.
This is Barkley. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Flush to his right. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Jones operating from the gun. Found his target. It's Anderson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
This has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Jones now. Off play action. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On the run, it's Barkley. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. And you scored points.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
General West. Say. Yo, you get it.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards, good for a giant first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll run on 1st down. Barkley. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position. Now facing 3rd down. Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown number 18 of the year, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Go. 60 minutes. Get that quarterback.
They're going to run it with Barkley. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
3rd quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe 1st or 2nd, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to I don't like to chase a lot of points, but I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. DK Metcalf. 82 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about, especially when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden, because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. On first down, Jones. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I remember throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Here's Jones, throwing on third and long. Flushed out right, completes it to Hardman, and way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal, don't necessarily need a touchdown. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, Jones. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
Jones going to throw again. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line. Jones now on first down. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch them close to the spot.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now it's Barkley. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Oh, and this turns into a mess as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 31-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And a give this time to the tailback. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Weaver. The open man is Smith. That one goes for 8 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Weaver. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Jones to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off play action. Jones. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, high 7.
Here's Jones throwing on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
60 mark, 60 mark, 60 mark. Hey, pick your game up. 60 mark, 60 mark.
Jones throwing on 4th down. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
Set. 18 Gator. 55 to Mike. And we got to get to the ball, G. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Convert.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Minnesota, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.